Well, boss, if you have been on the fence for a little while, you've heard me talking about the HBSA, the Handmade Bosses Success Academy, and you've kind of been holding on, waiting for the doors to open again, then you are in luck because officially, for the first time in 2025, the doors to the HBSA are open until the 2nd of April 2025 at 8 p.m. UK time. Now, if you've been listening to me for a hot minute, you have heard lots of stories from myself and students regarding the HBSA. But what exactly is it? It is my signature 5-phase course designed to get you to go from wherever you are now, whether that's complete beginner, whether you've started a shop but it's not quite going as well as you'd hoped, or if you're growing but not growing as fast as you would like. I am here to get you to consistent 5-figure months, not only on Etsy, but also on your own website, and now exclusively for the HBSA for in-person events as well. Not only that, but we have £2,885 worth of added extras for you, but that special package expires on the 2nd of April. So, boss, if you want to join this round of the HBSA, then you have to go to handmadebosses.com/HBSA brand. It's all lowercase. That's handmadebosses.com/HBSA brand. You will find your special link to enroll and get all of the added goodies. Now, back to the episode.
The world of handmade business can be tough when trying to monetize what you love. We've got truth bombs and motivation to help you find your way through. Passion to profit, let's start today, 'cause the world needs what you create. Tune in right now, it's your shot to learn to be a handmade boss.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the How to Be a Handmade Boss podcast. So today it's going to be a little bit of a different format because today we're going to be chatting with students who are in the HBSA about the HBSA, and we're really going to be digging into whether or not they feel that the course has worked for them. So first up, we are going to hear from Karen. Now, Karen mentioned resonating with my teaching style. She talked about how it's helped with marketing and target audience, and also giving more of a work-life balance. So let's hear what Karen has to say.
There's something about you that clicked. There's a lot of me in you, you know? I see a lot of similarities. I'm like, I like listening to her. She seems down to earth. It's helped me a lot with the marketing, on pinning down, like I had an idea who my target market was. But doing that research, and I mean, I spent 2 weeks on target market and dug in like 5 hours a day, really digging into it and doing the research and grinding through. I mean, there's 10 businesses you're looking at. You can't just give them a half an hour. You really need to dig and find out what you're seeing and what they're doing. And a lot of them aren't marketing at all. I'm like, okay, well, maybe they don't want to be a full-time business either. You don't know. That's one thing you don't know. But it has helped a lot on the marketing aspects of my business. It's where, you get okay, that helps. Yeah, I believe, like going through the academy has given me that work-life balance that I always try to work towards.
So now let's hear from HBSA student Pash. And Pash mentions the expertise involved. She also says that Steph knows what she's talking about, which is very nice to hear. She also talks a lot about investing in herself and how the HBSA is the best thing that she's ever done. So let's hear from Pash.
I thought, oh, wow, this woman actually knows what she's talking about. And I got the book and I've started reading it. I'm not very far through because loads of other things have happened. But I started reading that. And then the poster-thon came on and I thought, brilliant, I'm going to do that. And I'd been thinking about joining the HBSA, but at the time I was thinking, oh, crumbs, I guess I wasn't willing to invest in myself. And after doing the poster-thon, I just thought, do you know what? I can do this. And I just made the leap and I thought, right, I'm going to join HBSA. Hand on heart, it's the best thing I've done this year.
Next up is Eric. Now, Eric talks about getting things right straight off the bat, making things smoother sailing when you're very first starting out, and also just looking at things that you wouldn't necessarily think of in business, things that perhaps you wouldn't get in other courses, and also the fact that there's lots of value in the HBSA. But it's not just me talking about it. Let's now hear from Eric himself.
I think the biggest thing for us was it just helped us get set up properly right off the bat. Obviously, you can go in and change stuff afterwards, but I think if you can do it right from the beginning, it makes it a lot smoother. So that was a big thing. I had never had an Etsy shop before. I'd never had my own website before. I'd gone to business school. I'd learned about marketing and that sort of thing, but I hadn't really applied it in that way. So the HBSA was just a really nice kind of foundation to learn how to use Etsy, like what to do tag wise, a lot of the technical side of things. And then the group has been probably one of the most fun parts, because being in business by yourself can definitely be hard at times. There's a lot of ups and downs, and it's nice to have that community where, I just put a post last week. We just hit 2,000 sales on our Etsy shop, and you get so many comments and everybody's supportive. Or if you have a question where you have something that you just can't quite figure out, you have, a couple thousand people to go and ask, does anybody have an idea on this? And you get a lot of good feedback. And then you also get to help other people who maybe you've learned from some mistakes that you've made, and you can give some advice on, oh, well, this is what we did and it didn't work. Maybe think about a different strategy. So it's just a really nice community that makes it a little bit easier to not just be stuck in business by yourself and going through that roller coaster. I think the course is really, really valuable, especially if you didn't go to business school or if you haven't had your own business before. There's so much good stuff in there that you would never even think of. So I would always suggest doing that at the start. But then once you've done the course, then it's, then the community side of things is what really becomes the value after that.
So you've probably heard all about the amazing successes so far that students have had with the HBSA. And we've actually now started a HBSA waitlist. So this is basically a list that you can join, a waitlist, a shortlist, whatever kind of list you want to call it, where you put your name down and kind of raise your hand and say, yes, I am so interested in joining the HBSA the next time it opens. And if you do, you get a bunch of bonus, extra, phantasmic goodies the next time the course opens. So if you go to handmadebosses.com/HBSA in capitals, waitlist, you will find it there. Or I'll leave it in the show notes below, or you can find it on the homepage of the Handmade Bosses website as well. Like I say, if you join that waitlist, you get a bunch of extra goodies that are worth thousands, okay? So it's definitely worth joining. But for now, let's get back into hearing what the rest of the students have to say. Okay, so next is Vicki. Now, Vicki talks about it gives you focus and direction. The difference to her shop is amazing, and 5% conversion rate. So that is amazing and some great benefits, but we're going to hear it from Vicki herself next.
It's given me focus, really. That's what it's really done. It's given me focus and direction, because I was throwing spaghetti at the wall, to steal a phrase. And it was just, not knowing what to do in what order, and sort of sitting down and doing the HBSA and working through that first module. It just kind of was like, oh, yes, I can do this. It's not going to be crazy. It's not going to be trying to do a million things at once. I'm only part way through the second module, second part of it, but the difference to my shop is amazing. It's, like I say, gone from virtually no conversion rate at all to like a 5% conversion rate.
Next up is Tara, and Tara talks about how it's given her confidence. The group is extremely helpful, and it feels like you are part of a family. Let's hear it from Tara.
Okay, so a year ago, I was posting something on Etsy, finding it wasn't selling in a week and taking the listing down and having some sort of panic attack. Now I'm selling in a few local shops, commission based, so it doesn't cost either of us any money until I make a sale, which I've started doing now. My Etsy shop, I'm putting it up there and just, regularly posting on Instagram and knowing that the views will get there once it kind of sorts itself out in the algorithm. I've got the weekends and evenings free to spend with my girls because I'm not panicking about the next craft fair and that I need to have 20 products made just in case they all sell out. I've kind of like got a more family life balance back, I think. It's made me feel like I'm part of a family.
So Charlie is up next, and Charlie talks a lot about it's given her structure and a vision. Now she's full-time in her business, which is amazing, and the fact that business is better than ever. So let's hear from Charlie.
I think it's had quite a huge one, actually. I'd say it's been so helpful. The biggest thing for me is that it's given me structure, because I can be quite scatterbrained, so it's really like given me like a vision and got a structure now that I didn't have before. So I mean, it's amazing because I'm now full time, which is really cool. I would say when I first went full time, I was quite scared because I changed a lot of stuff and rebranded, and I was like, oh. And I think I didn't realise, but when you rebrand, there can be like a little bit of a dip, a bit of a business dip, because so much is changing, but it's got so much better now. It's doing so much better than it's ever done.
Laura is up next, and she's talking about how the HBSA is manageable. It's structured down into lots of different chunks, and she also knows now what to do and when. Not only that, but she now has a solid base for having a successful business. Let's hear it from Laura.
I think seeing when you did the kind of 30 minutes a day, I found out that was a thing. I was like, you know what? That is manageable. I can do that, because up until that point, I was literally going, I'm going to do this. I need to do my photos. I need to do my social media. I need to do this. And it was just literally trying to do everything. I was running around like a headless chicken, trying to do everything all at once and not really achieving anything because I was trying to do too many things all at the same time. But just having it broken down into these little tiny chunks, I'm just like, okay, so my photos aren't being done at the moment, but I'm doing all the other things, and I know that the photos will get done, I think, in the next module, and they'll be done properly rather than being done in a rush. So just having it all laid out like that, it's calm, and I'm not running around like a headless chicken anymore. I feel like it's creating a really solid base for having a successful business.
So guys, I really, really hope that you've loved hearing from all of the HBSA students in today's episode. So I'm also going to mention that we also now have a HBSA waitlist. And if you join that waitlist, you're going to get a bunch of bonus goodies, a bunch of freebies, and a bunch of extra goodness and things when you join the next time the HBSA opens. So I'm going to pop the link in the description below, or if you go to handmadebosses.com/HBSA waitlist, you will also find it on the homepage as well. Then you can join the waitlist there, and if you want results like these amazing bosses have, then you definitely want to join the waitlist. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in to How to Be a Handmade Boss. And if you're eager to boost your Etsy sales within just 7 days, then be sure to join my most popular free training at handmadebosses.com/conversion. You can also find the link in the show notes as well. Keep an eye out for our next episode, where we'll be continuing our journey towards handmade business success together. And until then, keep crafting and stay inspired, because the world really does need those special creations that only you can make.